you don't get access. Oh, you fall for what is fake. Every time it sparkles in your eye, just remember there's another way. Big and bright, it's hard to resist. You promised the world, and I'm losing yours instead. Listen to my words, sweet child. You gotta change your mind. It ain't easy, it gets better in the end. Your obsession with appearance, your delusions in this mind, your allegiance to the word takes a pass and leaves you spent. Your reality is jaded and your heart turned to stone. It's never a good time to change. You get what you paid for. The talk is cheap. You stand in the rain, praying for sunshine from day four. How many years can it go on before you admit maybe you're wrong? It's time to listen closer, my love. Your obsession with appearance, your delusions in this time, your allegiance to the word takes a pass and leaves you spent. Your reality is jaded and your heart turned to stone. It's never a good time, it gets easier each day. I can see you need a way out. I could see it from the start. I could sense inside those crying eyes avoidance of truth. What you do, shut me out, close your mind. All you're ever gonna find is more of this big fake shiny fool's gold.
Hi everybody. Unfortunately, the microphone has shite itself. I'll just turn that off so I'm not hearing it. Apologies for the headphones because I've got to hear this just for a few minutes. Let's see if that's coming through live. Yeah. Hi Alicia. So I'm going to be a little quiet tonight. So I can take that off now. Make sure it's actually working. Sorry, I haven't had time to mix this mic, people. It's going to be a bit roomy. But as usual, the $1 million Yamaha microphone has decided to have a hissy fit, and it's just not working. It's putting up waveforms, but it's not doing anything. So we'll get to that later. So hi Nathan, hi Paul, hi Grant, hi Luke, hi Neil. I watched your latest video. You're having too much fun. Well done, man. Looks great. Hi Alicia, hi Eric. Yeah, look, I have a spare mic because this Yamaha thing is. There are two Yamaha mics here. I'm not naming names now because it's giving me the shits. There's actually 6 microphones built into this camera. It forms an AI box around me, and it rejects noise from everywhere else. And when it works, it's astounding. And of course now it's shit itself. So I bought another mic. I thought, oh, I'll get a standby Yamaha desk mic. Yamaha make good gear, right? Well, this thing's cantankerous and I've had enough of it. And this is a Marantz mic that's about 4 years old. And I'm not a real fan of it, but it works. That's why it's always on this stand up here out of sight. So don't want to advertise Rode, but they do make great mic stands. So everyone, hi Mum. Hi Michael, hi Midori, up there in Tokyo. Heard you had a bit of rain up there the other day. Looked pretty awesome actually. So what are we doing, peeps? Well, tonight, there's always something happening in the world. It's an amazing place, this world we live in. So what do we got coming up? Well, I'm going to drop the chat for a second, Mum. Sorry. Here's Brisbane Live. Awesome looking place with the road mic going through it. That's going to be a problem later because that's through all my presentations. How do I fix that? Oh, I really can't. It just makes it worse, doesn't it? Maybe. We'll see, folks. We'll see how it goes. The middle of my head in the middle of presentations. Who cares? We'll try it. Anyway, I hope you're getting the audio. I had a quick listen. Not as good as I like it, but it'll do. Bris Live. Gorgeous place. Bit of cloud out there in the background by the look of it. Again, for those of you that either aren't here or don't have a window, that's what Brisbane looks like live right now. I'm not seeing a whole lot moving there. I wonder if that's frozen. They might have frozen. Oops, this thing wasn't working for about 3 or 4 days. Poor guy must have had a problem. Tell you what is working though. Tokyo, 1836 up there at the moment. So it's 6:30, and it's 29 degrees. Oh, that's when when these images were taken. And that's pretty warm, and nothing's moving on that bridge either, so I wonder what's going on there. Anyway, Tokyo, I love the lights. I just love the red lights. I just does. Where did the damn chat go? It ran away. There we go, we're back. Jeez, I hope that worked. Is that still working? Yeah, it's still working. Sorry. Hi Karen, did I say hi Karen? Sorry, I hope I did. Anyway, Tokyo, of course one of my favourite towns in the world. It's funny, this town had a rain event, we'll call it that, about a week ago. And tail end of a pretty hot low pressure system went through there and dumped a crap load of water on this town. Now of course this town is a very large version of our town when it comes to impermeable surfaces. And it never ceases to amaze me how people every year go, oh, the rain, man, the rain, it's just, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. Well, it could be, but paving your town from edge to edge in bitumen and concrete and tiled roofs and galvanised iron or colorbond roofs does not help water soak into the ground. And then you duct whatever water does go down into stormwater drains, which don't soak up water at all. So, of course, it's just going to get worse. It's the way it is. We don't pay enough respect to watercourses. We pave over them, we tile over them, we put bitumen over them, we put them in pipes that are way too small. For the 1 in 100 year flood, we get every 5 years. Yeah. And I think Tokyo might have had a little bit of that this week. I saw some of the footage. It was nuts. Absolutely nuts. And not to want to sound like a racist, but some Japanese people, when they are faced with adversity that is outside their scope, they're like deer in the headlights. They just don't understand. Hey, Ollie. Hey, good to see you. I've been watching your stuff. I really have. Earthquake map. Now we're going to go interactive here. I don't think we've got Marty this week. I think he might be in the States. If he isn't, he's probably just eating pizza. So we had a few interesting things. We'll have to get Poiter, the Phantom Poiter, out over here. Because we had a little one off Exmouth over here. Yeah, okay. The southwest seismic zone is still active in Western Australia. Little one just north of Adelaide, halfway up near Port Augusta. Little one down near Mount Gambier. You get quite a few earthquakes down. This has still got a lot of volcanism down in here, so we get those. Another little one down to the east of the Mornington Peninsula, not quite Gippsland, but getting there. Two little guys here, and bing, bong, bang. 3 earthquakes in a row in New South Wales. Now, these were on the news today, so people felt them. They weren't that big, 3, 3.2, 3.1 or something. And they're only today, so that number might firm up over the next few days so they get a few more readings in. But this is, it's unusual, I'll tell you that. But what is unusual is this. This one up in PNG, not that one, this one. And the reason it's unusual is this is not a crustal earthquake. This is a mantle quake. All right, let's click on it, see if we can read. You might not be able to read it. Yeah, you can read it. 103 kilometres deep. Now, there's not too many places on Earth the crust is 100 kilometres deep, and it is not 100 kilometres deep there. It's about 60 or 70. It is deeper on, obviously, a continental crust. It's a lot thicker, and where there's mountains like this, which there are, it's a bit thicker again, but it ain't that deep. That is a very deep earthquake, and it's not in the crust. That's in the mantle. So there you go. That's unusual this week. I'm one of the idiots that reads these things. I enjoy them. They're good. You know what I like about it? It's free. It's my favourite thing, free. So there we go, 100 k's deep. That's a deep earthquake. It really is. So let's have a look and see what's happening at Abbey Road. The same shit. Dickheads trying to recreate the Beatles album cover on the wrong crossing. But anyway, what do we do? Yeah, New South Wales is going off, Nathan. It really is. You get a few earthquakes in New South Wales because of they have some very big mining activity there, open cut mines, and it moves the balance of the crust in that area a tiny bit. That could cause a bit of a creak and a crack every now and then. They call it mining-induced earthquakes. But that ain't. Not that way. Kanazawa today, Michael. My favourite town in Japan that you've never been to. Anyway, you got to get there, mate. None of us are getting any younger. You don't know where Kanazawa is, people. It's on the west coast of Japan. It's a beautiful town. Got a real old section. Was never bombed in World War II, so the old wooden, it looks like something out of a Charles Dickens Christmas card, especially if you go there when it's snowing, which I did. And it's just amazing to walk through. T-shirt tonight. I've worn it before. I can't explain it to you. Come on, go back to the front, idiot. But I can't understand it for you. There you go. I get very bad looks on the buses from that. I'm not sure. People seem to take it personally. Not sure why. Fuji-san. It's just Mount Fuji, of course. Mount Fuji, if you use your imagination, would be about here. It's gone. It's in cloud today, which is quite common. I've been to Japan about 3 times before I saw the damn thing. It's in a lot of cloud a lot of the time. And it's so much cloud tonight we can't even see the poor idiots walking on it, trying to climb up there. It might be nearly time for them to close it. I can't remember when that is, but it's coming soon. Once the temperatures start to drop up at 15,000 feet, they just close it. People just start dying. Even more than they usually do. Fuji-san. Good carbs, bad carbs, yeah. That strawberry cake. The Japanese make a strawberry shortcake like that is just ridiculous. It tastes okay, but my God, it looks good. Just presentation, amazing. And the carb, I think that might be 4 Strombergs. Woolman's not here tonight, but any latent petrol heads there, if you recognise them, I think they might be Strommies. Very old ones too. I wouldn't like to be the poor mechanic that has set all those linkages up at all. Tune them all. What a load of garbage. I'm not a carburetor fan. They're good, as long as you stay in one place. Just reading that, Benny, sorry. Oh, good stuff, mate. Excellent. Oh, hi, Esther. They do, Esther. And so the plastic food in the window is always bigger than it really is too. The way it goes. Yeah, I think they're Strommies. Anyway. So, it's microscope time. Wow. What is this? It's not two for once. This is a piece of rock from Esther. We played you in with Fool's Gold. Good tune. This is a piece of rock from a video I'm shooting at the moment on Sugar's Quarry and the Sugar's Basalt. Another rock that's poorly named. And this is the basalt structure here. Now these little structures are all the way through it, and we'll talk about it in the video. They're called amygdala. And this is amygdalitic basaltic rhyolite. I practiced that for a while, I'll tell you. And it's a very high silica basalt. It's quite strange. And not particularly common. So I've been up there at the weekend, went up with Steve, we smacked a few rocks with a hammer. You'll see all that in the video. Had a look at the history of it, the guys who, and there were guys, and there's women as well, who, you talk about these men that founded Queensland, these tough, roughy men. Yeah, they were tough men, there's no question of that. How tough were the women that were sitting back in a tin shed over a wooden stove, wearing woolen dresses up to here, pregnant almost continuously? How tough were they? That's the question you have to ask. Esther, write a song about it. Because those pioneering women are very much undersung heroes. There's no question of that. So that's the microscope. I'm a bit annoyed with the colour in this microscope, because that rock is actually quite a lot greener than that. And that's iron in the basalt. Fe, I think it's Fe2 makes it green. Might be Fe3. I can't remember. I have to look that one up. Anyway, so that's our little show and tell for this evening. Let's have a talk about the video I published on the weekend on the hum. I had some great feedback from some of you, actually. I have some great feedback from a lot of people on that. It's been actually a very enlightening process. The amount of people that sent me it's good request. Go for it, Esther. Go for it. If anyone can do it, you can. You can do it without being condescending, unlike any of us would be. It's awesome. So yeah, the sound that no one can explain, the hum. What is it? What isn't it? Well, I didn't say what it was. I said what it wasn't, because I don't know what it is. I don't think it is one thing. I think it's a bunch of stuff. But we know one down. We've got a few others. So anyway, the video's out there. Not particularly popular. Tonight it's had about 700 views, I think, which is pretty shit. I thought it'd do better than that, but YouTube are just ignoring it. It's got a massive click-through rate. The click-through rate's running at about 9%, which is high for me. Obviously the thumbnails are working. YouTube's just not showing it to anyone. So there's something either in the title or the keys, or even, I don't think they analyse the text on the thumbnail, but it's just, it doesn't like it. Yeah, but no, I've seen these sit here, Steve and I've seen these sit here for 3 days and they just go vertical. Who knows? Who knows? If you try and make your videos to suit the algorithm, you're on a slippery path. Just make your videos, be yourself, see what happens. So anyway, that was the hum. I managed to get something out of that I've been trying to get out for years. I'll just play it for you.
Take him to Detroit.
No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
I might even resize it so it fits on the screen. I've been trying to get a Kentucky Fried Movie reference in one of my videos for years. And all of a sudden, Detroit came up and I went, oh yeah, I got to do it. Anyway, you got to have grey hair to remember Kentucky Fried Movie. For sure. For sure. Actually, I watched it again to grab this, and it's absolute garbage. It really, there's a few funny bits in it, but a fistful of yen, you know, we need total concentration. You have our gratitude, and take him to Detroit. That's the 3 lines out of the movie. There we go. So, Hi, Brad. You're right, mate. You've always got a late chit here, mate. This is where we were on the weekend. It's out at Anstead. You can go here. Steve and I shooting stuff. I'll probably go back and I want to shoot some more of this close to this face. There are 7 defined lava flows here, and I want to try and see them. I can see bits of them, but I think I might have to choose a different time of day. Steve and I were there reasonably late in the afternoon. I might try going out at closer to midday, see if the shadows can pick the individual lava flows up. But anyway, for that, I'm just going to tell you the 7 lava flows. You have to believe it. A pretty nice place, actually. It's just over here at Anstead. It's not that far away. It's free. You can walk in, have a look around. There's a lookout up top here. Up in here, you can go up there and sit there, or you can walk around this end. And you can come down into the quarry and wander around, which Steve and I didn't do, but I will do because there's a few bits down there I really do want to shoot. And Steve and I decided we'd, well, watch the video. There you go. Steve and I go places together. Weird shit happens. It just does. So, Sugar's Quarry, I'm working on that. It'll probably be on the weekend, maybe I'll get it finished. I think I'm going to go and reshoot some stuff on Saturday. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. Sorry, I'm talking a bit quietly. I can't talk too quietly on this mic. Right, power pricing. Ooh, what are you looking at now? Power pricing. Wow, I've moved my damn chair. Look at that. We'll try and get that out of the way. Now, as a quick yeah, Nathan's just asked, I'll pop that chat up briefly. Sorry. Nathan's just asked, thanks, Brad. Yeah, you press that, smash that like button, or you're all going to Detroit. Marty's probably there. Hi, Marty. The pizza has landed. G'day, mate. Send him to Detroit. A friend of mine bought a crap load of houses in Detroit when the Americans wouldn't buy their own houses. He went over there with a few $100,000 and just bought a whole row of houses that were rent controlled. And then 10 years later, he sold them for an absolute crap ton of money. But anyway, the Americans wouldn't buy their own places at that stage. Shit happens. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah. We were talking about Nathan's question. Min lights. Somebody mentioned this in the chat. I'm not sure it was in the comments. I've seen a Min light. My friends and I were out shooting at a place called Glenfeld, which is south of Mitchell, about halfway between Mitchell and somewhere. I can't remember. Anyway, south. Very dark. Very dark. And when you're looking down spotlights all night and you're looking through scopes and you're shooting at pegs in a distance, your eyes get a bit messed up. So when you turn the lights out, you can not see things, but it's a bit difficult. And we saw these lights. All of us saw it. It wasn't just me. That would be just probably something I've been drinking. But we saw these lights. And we thought, oh, there's a road over there. I don't remember a road there. And the lights just slowly moved along and then just slowly went up and just disappeared. And that was probably 1986. Oh, no, probably before that, 84, something like that. And everyone who lives out there has seen these things at one stage, pretty much, if you live there fairly long. And when you think about it, it has to be a fairly old phenomenon because the Aboriginal word for it is min. They had a word for it. They've seen these things. So, yeah, it'd be interesting. I've not really looked into it at all. So, yeah, good idea, Nathan. I'll check that out. There you go. I'm sure it's not as bad as they make out. Or is it? I don't know. It looks pretty crappy. A lot of those places where my wife came from in Birmingham. Oh, it's a black industrial blah-de-blah-de-blah shithole this way. I went there last year. It's absolutely stunning. It's a great place. I'm sure it was in the 1960s and 70s and 50s, even before then. Before we shipped all the dirty jobs to China. Just looking at that, well, black soil usually comes from decomposing basalt somewhere, washed in. So somewhere near you, and I know where you are, let me have a look at it. I'll send you something. Somewhere near you in the ranges should be some basalt, and the black soil's been washed down. It doesn't always form black soil. It depends on the chemistry. But certainly to the west of Toowoomba it does. All those Toowoomba volcanics that wash out into the Darling Downs, there's metres and metres of black soil out there. Around Ipswich is black soil. Strange enough, at a place called Black Soil. Duh. But anyway, I'll have a look at that, Ollie. I'll have a look at the geo maps and see where it is. But my God, it expands and contracts like nothing else. If you're going to build anything on a slab there, you do it. You know, keep your eyes on your fries. So it'll lift the damn thing out of the ground and crack it in half. As it does in Ipswich to little low-set brick places. As I know from personal experience. I'll have a look at that for you, Ollie. No drama at all. So, what's next? Power pricing. Why are we talking about power pricing? Everyone hates power pricing. This is not the price we pay at the pump. This is what it costs to generate. Now, I'll put a caveat on this. It's extracted from a worldwide study, and it does not include the cost of disposal of the asset. So the cost of pulling down the windmills when they're buggered, the cost of crunching up the solar panels and recycling, the cost of knocking down the power station in the case of coal or gas, and the cost of getting rid of all the nuclear crap and all the shit from a nuclear. It does not include that, because that is just unknowable. Sorry, Nathan, just reading that. Hey, Willerman. Hey, good on you, mate. Damper, you got to have treacle. Salted butter and treacle for damper. It's awesome stuff. Heart attack in a can, it really is. So anyway, what are we talking about here? Yeah, it'll crack it up. I'll just chews it up. This was a three-bedroom, I can't remember now. 2-bedroom concrete house on a slab at Bundamba on black soil, and just cracked right through the middle. So we sold it. Building inspectors, their job, not ours. First of all, it cracked the ceiling because the slab broke, and then it all just went from there. The house it's still there. People still living in it. They would have had underpinned and fixed, and I remember when it was built, we had extra piers put under the slab by regulation for the black soil, and we just had a really long dry period, and it just cracked. And it happens, but it's pretty good soil. As it gets wet and you're out there on your tractor, you can be there a while. So we're talking about these power prices. Well, what are they there for? Well, let's have a look at it. So solar and PV, we can talk in megawatts or kilowatts. It doesn't matter. You just move the decimal place around. $44 to $65 a megawatt hour. This is a generator. That's what you and I are going to pay. Wind power, $45 to $57. So solar's the cheapest at the moment. Wind power, $45 to $57, a little bit dearer. Depends, I suppose, the mix of offshore and onshore wind. Offshore wind is cheaper than onshore wind. New black coal, not existing black coal, but new black coal power stations, $87 to $118 a megawatt, depending on where you are in the world. Not all coal was... America has a beautiful coal called anthracite, which is just amazing to burn in power stations. But they're conserving it because it's not many places in the world have anthracite. It's a 98% carbon, 95% carbon. It's a beautiful coal. I'll get myself a piece of anthracite one day. New gas generation, $65 to $111 a megawatt hour. So as you can see, these things are not cheap. Nuclear is the dearest of the lot. Now, 52 to 143 megawatts. Well, 52 that's a huge span because it depends on the reactor and where it is, etc., etc. So nuclear power is expensive. It just is. All this crap you hear about, oh, it's cheap, it's that and everything else, it's expensive. And of all of these methods here, the most expensive to get rid of is the nuclear one. The British government believes it could cost 100 billion, not million, billion pounds to get rid of the nuclear material they've got stored now, let alone the massive reactor they're just finishing now, which should come online in the next few years. £1 billion. Who's paying for that? It'll be the British taxpayer. Because it's not being metered in the electricity. No one would buy it. It'd be too expensive. No one could use it. So anyway, that's the way it is going. So what are we going to have a look at? We're going to have a look at nuclear reactors tonight because if you can have a favourite nuclear reactor, I've got one. And it's not Dutto's small modular reactor, the don't reactor, whatever it is. They ain't going anywhere. It doesn't exist yet anyway. It probably will one day though. There is a reactor in the world called CANDU. And it's not a political slogan of a failed midget from Queensland. It's an acronym. It stands for Canada, Deuterium and Uranium. CANDU. And it is the only nuclear reactor on Earth that will run on, they say unenriched uranium, natural uranium. That's a little bit of a lie. It has to be slightly enriched purely to even it out, so it's all the same. But you do not have to enrich this to the level of any other power station. You certainly don't have to enrich it as much as you do to make weapons. Basically, you dig it out of the ground, wipe its bum, press it into the pellet, throw it in the machine. Not that simple, but yeah, it's very, very simple. You can use a natural fuel. You can mix it with other fuels as well. It's a very, very an amazing reactor. It can run on thorium. It can have actinides, plutonium. It can take all sorts of nucleotides from different nuclear sources and use them to make power, which is pretty cool. This was never mentioned in the Australian nuclear power debate. Not a word, which is a shame because it exists. There's a lot of them in the world, right? But like most nuclear reactors, they're not really building too many new ones. So yeah, it's a very cool system made by some very cool people called Canadians. This is one of the reactors in Canada. It's a place called Bruce. It's a great name for a town. It works. It's been there quite a long time, 35 years or something. It's not a small reactor. These reactors are in 600 megawatt modules. I think there's 3 in this one. This is one they built in China not too long ago. This is 2 300 megawatt reactors. You know, it works. The Chinese bought it. The Chinese are building a lot of nuclear reactors, and they're doing it because they understand. They tend to think a lot longer term than we do in a lot of their decision making. And they also understand that if they're going to be the factory of the world, if they're going to take all the shitty industries from every country on Earth and bring it into China and do it cheaply, well, they can't destroy their country completely in the process or the planet. So they're doing what they can. And, you know, I get a bit sick of this sanctimonious European, even the Brits sometimes with their, oh, well, you're here in Australia. Oh, well, there's no point us cutting down our carbon emissions because China's and India, they're putting out all the carbon in the world. Well, yes, they are, because they're doing all the dirty work for us. Just go through your house, find me something that wasn't made in China. Cup, mouse, computer, monitors, it's all, everything. The paint on the walls, the titanium dioxide and the paint on the walls is processed in China. So, you know, that's the dirty work that we used to do. And, of course, we're just paying them to do it. So is it their carbon or our carbon? It's everyone's carbon. You're all going to be drinking it. You're all going to be breathing it, and you're all going to be swimming in it if we don't do something about it. That doesn't mean we have to go out and say, right, turn it off, it's all gone, we can't do it. That's bullshit. We don't have to. Once we know we're making a mistake, the first step is to stop making it. Do something about it. And in Australia we are. And in Europe they are. And in China they are. They're probably converting their carbon generating economy faster than anyone on Earth. Unfortunately, they've got a long way to go. But anyway, they're building stuff like this. Now, what makes CANDU different is it runs on heavy water, which is deuterium oxide. So you take a heavy hydrogen, which is deuterium, and you bond oxygen onto it, H2O, and it makes heavy water. Now, heavy water is just like normal water, except it's obviously quite a lot heavier because it's got extra proton in it. And it's actually poisonous. You can drink it, but it will destroy you inside. Your body can't handle it. Not chemically, but from a nuclear point of view, it'll wreck you. You probably could drink small amounts of it. And this allows, I'm not going to go into the neutron stuff, there's just no point. All of this allows it to burn, to react unenriched uranium, which is just fantastic. You don't have to get all that uranium enrichment. It's also intrinsically safe. The fuel rods are horizontal. And when they want to change the fuel rods, they can push them out while the reactor's running and change them while it's running very easily. And the control rods, these things here, are vertical and they're driven by gravity. So if this thing fails and these control rods are cut free, they just fall and they kill the reaction, and they kill it fast. So it's a really, really cool bit of gear. Closed loop. It's still a pressure water reactor because deuterium oxide is still water. Still pressurized water, and away you go. It's a pretty cool bit of gear. Probably because it's Canadian. The fuel elements in these things are large. I've seen the fuel elements in a normal reactor, about the size of your little finger, 10 mils round. They're quite a lot larger in a CANDU reactor. Now this shiny metal you see here is usually zirconium. Zirconium is pretty much transparent to neutrons, just go straight through it like shit through a goose. So you can stick your nuclear fuel elements in there and the neutrons coming off the reaction will still go through it. So you see this in every nuclear reactor, this zirconium. You can buy a cup made out of this. It's pretty cool metal. It's not poisonous. It's good stuff. Hi. How do I say that? Hegante? Yeah, I'm going to go Hegante. Sorry. Boy grew up in Queensland, mate. I have trouble pronouncing, well, lots of things. So there you go. So this is actually a fuel amount from the Bruce reactor I showed you in the early thing. And with the hands there, you can see for scale. Now, obviously, there are thousands of these in one reactor. And they get loaded into tubes like this. As you can see, not a small assembly. These are large, and they produce a lot of power because of it. But they produce it over a larger area. They're not under as much stress. You imagine the nuclear reactor that's in a submarine or it's in an aircraft carrier has to produce megawatts of power in a very small space. Those components are under a lot of stress, from just mechanical stress and the nuclear stress, the neutrons turn a lot of material into just Swiss cheese, steel in particular. They really do. So that's a pretty big bit of gear, which is nice. That's how they make them. I'm not completely sure what it's made out of, but I bet you don't buy it at Bunnings. It'll be some sort of eutectic, ultra strong stainless steel welded by people that know how to weld a lot better than I do, for sure. Just sorry, reading the chat here for a sec, guys. Yeah, sorry. There you go, Nathan. Yeah, this is Sir Frenchinell Drive. The kids burning the toast up at the uni all day and all night. Especially when uni first starts, when the kids are just learning to live by themselves. Every day. They may as well just station a truck up there because they're there all the time. Oh, the fireys love it. They get to drive up and down making a noise. Siren. You know, I can't hear the difference. My wife can say, oh, that's an ambulance. Oh, that's a police car. Oh, that's a fire truck. Sound like sirens to me. Here comes motorcycle head going up and down the road. Doors are shut here. These things are so loud. They go through here. So this is, obviously, these are not simple devices, as you can see. You know, here's your reactor producing heavy hot water. Heat exchange to the light water up here produces the steam, goes off, spins the turbines. There is some change coming in the turbine thing. Turbine technology really hasn't... Did I forget to take that? Oh, what an idiot. Hang on. Let's do that again. With feeling. I'm pointing it with a mouth. Reactor, bloody blah. Hot water goes up here, makes this heavy water is the brown, makes the blue stuff, make it to steam, spins the turbine. Now there's changes coming to turbines. They're going for a smaller turbine that produces more power because they're getting rid of the water and they're going to change it over to a supercritical CO2. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, Willerman. You do it, I don't mind. As long as it's a V8 or a six-cylinder or something, not these horrible boy racer, ding, ding, ding things we get around here. So yeah, they're changing the water to supercritical CO2. And supercritical CO2 is much more energy dense, and it will spin a turbine that is 1/10 of the size of the current turbines they're using and produce 10 times the power. It's that sort of increase they're looking at. So watch out for that. Coming soon to a power station near you. Probably not here. Don't know. We'll find out. Let's turn it on. So, despite the fact we didn't even hear about this in the nuclear energy debate we just had in Australia, which was just shit. It was so poorly done. In the world, they built quite a few of these. There's 22 in Canada. There's 2 in Romania. There's 4 in South Korea. There's 2 in China, 2 in India, 1 in Pakistan and 1 in Argentina. And they've been operating now for over 40 years, some of them, and there have only been 2 accidents. No one's been injured. 2 accidents where a small amount of tritium was vented because a pipe burst, and that tritium builds up in the water. And that tritium's not particularly dangerous. As a matter of fact, it's worth a whole lot of money. Yeah, superheated steam, Ollie, it's scary stuff. Supercritical steam is really scary stuff. It'll cut through steel if you get it hot enough. So they built quite a few of these around the world. And they're intrinsically safe. They're a very safe reactor. They don't run at particularly high pressures. They haven't got a whole big neutron flux running everywhere. They don't produce a lot of very hot radionuclides. It's the nuclear reactor we should all have. Should have one in the backyard. Maybe not. But they're not cheap. This is no cheaper than any other reactor. By the time you build the damn thing and get it working, you've got to have the big bickies. You've got issues in the grid that are being solved as we speak. There are very smart people around the world, and they are working on simulating inertia in the grid so that the grid doesn't destabilise, which has happened a few times. They had a big problem in Texas again a few years ago with the grid destabilised. There was too much renewables online, and the inverters on the renewables, to put it simply, are sooks. If the time base becomes unstable outside a certain window, the inverters drop off. Well, they're all programmed to drop off within the same parameters. So half the damn state dropped off. There was nothing wrong. They just all ran away. So they're changing that, strangely enough. In networking, when you guys are involved in computers, the standard that computers talk to each other on wire is called Ethernet nowadays. It wasn't always, but it is now. And Ethernet had a problem in the early days where the computers, and I think it still happens with wireless, certain events can happen where the little pulses line up so perfectly that they can't be read. So in the Ethernet standard, there is a random number deliberately introduced to cause these pulses so they never actually perfectly line up. There's a gross oversimplification of it, but it can happen. There you go. Nathan, what's that one? See, that sounds like a copper to me. That sounds like copper. No, it's a truck. I was wrong. It's another fire truck. Geez, there must be 2 toasters going off down there. This is one they want to build, which is a 1,000 gigawatt reactor. I think that was it, a gigawatt. They haven't done it yet, and they probably won't, because even in Canada, where the sun is low, the wind blows like hell, the renewables just blow these things away. You still need something to give you base load. No, Ollie, I haven't seen that. No, I haven't. Sorry, man. Have to look at that. So there we go. What the hell was that? Oh yeah, I was supposed to show you that earlier. I'll do it anyway since we're here. Well, I don't get that all the way down there. Marty, this OBS is going to be it's just another one. You're right. Since we've got this on the screen, we might as well talk about Brisbane River, Corona Downs, Carolee in here, or Brelland Point or whatever they call it down there. Corona Downs in there, Anstead in here, Steve-O's place somewhere over here. This green formation is the Sugars basalt. That's all there is of it. It's a tiny little piece of it, and it doesn't occur anywhere else, just here. There is a very large formation off screen up here, which we will talk about in another video. So here it is here, and the quarry is cut there. That's the quarry, that little thing there that we're talking about. Started in 1888. It's a very old quarry. This is gravel. This is gravel. It's amazing. You visit some of these gravel sites and they're like 60, 50 metres above the river. You think, how the hell did gravel get up here? Oh, it wasn't always up here, was it? This is all gravel down here. There's a little bit of the Narrowly Fernvale Shales poking through here. Oh, this is gravel. There's a really high cliff here. The Mount Crosby Road runs along there. The old, if anyone's driven it, it's the old, Woolman, you most certainly would have, the old roller coaster ride down there towards Anstead. There you go. So, I'll put the chat back up. My apologies. There we are. The Traction Engines Ollie. I've been to a festival at Hokitika where there was some traction engines running there. I love them. I just love the smell of them. That hot CO2, coal, and oil, and leather into the case. Just smells amazing. Just amazing. Yeah, Nathan, it was the other fire truck. You're right. Let's see if that's actually goes. Yeah, I close all these doors and everything. I'm all sealed in, but it just comes through the glass. Can't help it. Live on a road, you get that. It's quite handy. It just is. What else? On the weekend, I noticed John from Gel Builder did a ride through from. I think he went from Wakehold to Springfield. I think along that road. I drove that on the weekend, but he would have shot that a week earlier or something. Probably. I see Rob shooting Stones Corner. That's right up his alley for sure. Traction engines are amazing, woman. They just are. What was it, John Derry and Woolshed? A bunch of them out there, I think, still. If they've still got them. I hope so. We used to take the kids there. Watch sheep get sheared or something. John Derry's still got that kick in the middle of it. Come in from out west. I think it's gone. I think it might have been gone last time we went through. All you did was drive straight at the pub, just a kick around it. Yeah, Nathan, the Toowoomba bypass is amazing. Unfortunately, every time I go there, I'm driving and I've got to go to a particular job. That's why I'm going there. And I don't get time to stop and have a look. But did you notice all the remedial work when the geologist got it just a little bit wrong? That could have and may still be an absolute disaster. Oh, there you go, man. It was the Rosewood Fete. This weekend, Marty. Yay. Over at Zilmia. Mum said she saw the signs up on Hanford Road. So there you go. Oh, well done, Woolman. My youngest drives a B-double for someone. Oh, I can't remember the name of the place now. Volleymont's Transport. That's it. I can never remember this stuff. Second youngest works in a lab. Third youngest lives here. And the oldest boy is in Kansas. Yeah, Nathan, it was pretty bad. That was a big slip. And what was scaring me, when you drove along the road, you could feel the road had moved as well down the hill. It had actually just subsided as well. No doubt they'll fix all that, but what a mess. What a mess. Who couldn't have seen that coming? You know, I don't know. You look at the banter on that road, it's tough. I reckon that would have been safer as a tunnel. Come off that big bridge and just go smash straight into the hill and stay in it. And come straight out the other side. Don't worry about that big cutting at the top they did. Just tunnel it straight through and out. Come out where that roundabout is. Hi, Nev. Yeah, it certainly is. There's been two dams there. There's been one further downstream as well. If you ever go up there in a canoe or kayak or something, you'll see the remains of the old weir, which was downstream a little bit. The one that's there now is pretty awesome. Used to have a train line going across the top foot. If you look on, if you've got access to LiDAR and Queensland Globe, you will see the old Mount Crosby line still very visible. I don't really see it out there. It's a bit hard to see. There's a lot of trees and private property and shit. Because the LiDAR, the track bed is still really visible all the way back into Ipswich, all the way. It's amazing. Amazing stuff. It wasn't that long ago it was being used. I mean, maybe 60, 70 years. Because all the pumps out there were running on coal. So they used to have to take coal out in a train. The chemicals, that plant uses a lot of alum as a flocculant, take all the crap out of the water. And that uses, I think they use lime in one of the processes to do something. Oh, it's awesome. It really is. No, boy, I didn't check it out. I should have. I've just taken a note of that when you typed it. It's Stirling engines are amazing. The new generating system for the Moon and for Mars is nuclear-powered Stirling engines. That's it. That's what they're going to do. It's going to be a small nuclear reactor with a Stirling system on top of it. And as it burns, it's just going to lift the piston, down it'll fall, up it'll go, and it's going to just generate power, spin a turbine. So yeah, because it's hard to use solar panels on the Moon and on Mars because they get covered in shit, and they're also the sun's not strong enough. The sun on Mars is about as strong as it is, in Antarctica in spring, so it's just useless. Whereas you can, those little rovers, they lasted, but one coating of dust just shut them down. You can't do that. So yeah, the nuclear reactor is the way to go. A Stirling engine nuclear reactor using some form of, probably a radioisotope, plutonium-235 or something like that. It gets red hot, like the one that in the radioactive generators, but instead of using the thermocouples, they'll use a Stirling engine. And then you've got mechanical power that you can run pumps and get oxygen, all sorts of stuff out of that. Yeah, look. Oh well, if Elon said he's going to fix it, then it must not happen, because most of what comes out of his mouth is bullshit. Be something to do with some share price somewhere he's trying to manipulate. Yeah, desalination's pretty good. Osmotic desalination works well. It really does. But again, you need a lot of power. Like they do in Saudi Arabia. It's osmotic desalination. When I left the military, we just were getting our osmotic pumps for water when we were out, bivouac, whatever. You could drop these things in a sewage farm and the water that came out the other side was just perfect. It was amazing. Just amazing stuff. Yeah, Nathan, we were ripped, man. I blame the Catholic Church. You heard it here last week. If they didn't burn everyone at the stake for 500 years that said the Earth was not the centre of the solar system, we'd probably be on the Moon now, because we would have had Galileo 200 or 300 years before when we did. Who knows? I blame the bloody Catholic Church. Maybe not. We'll see. So there we go, peeps. That's been the CANDO reactors. I think they're a great idea. So I've always been a fan of nuclear power. I just don't like stupid nuclear power. What they've done in England is dumb. Really, really dumb. The quietest submarines on Earth now, the Japanese ones, are powered with Stirling engines. Yeah, Marty, I'll get there on Saturday. I'll have a talk to Mum, see if she wants to come. I think we should go and have a look. It should be fun. Saturday. Yeah, really? I don't know. I don't have to know. I'm not involved in it. But it's about dollars and cents. Generating power is about money. It just is. If you've looked at your power bill lately, right, we are getting well screwed again in Australia. 48 cents a litre put mine up to? 48 cents before I clicked the box and it went down to 26 because I went on a different plan. This is just the Telstra way. I work for Telstra. They were charging pensioners 20 cents for a local call for years after it was free. You just didn't ask, you didn't get. And the people that can defend themselves the least are the ones these corporations go after the hardest. That's not being some left-wing nut job. It's just true. I worked for Telstra. It was their policy. When I was there in, what year was that? 2005, 2004? They were still making $4 billion a year in local call revenue in Australia. And the reason they made that money was the COGS. The cost of that business was zero. Nothing. It cost them nothing. Then when Optus came onto the scene, they got the shits because they had to pay Optus to terminate the calls. It's all about money. Well, you're right. You just are. It's all about the do-re-mi. I remember when nuclear power was first touted. I don't remember it. That's a lie. I read about it. I don't remember that at all. Christopher Tumira over that. One of my children is a victim of that. I'll give you the numbers in case you don't know them. But yeah, the nuclear power was going to be so cheap you didn't have to charge for it. Just give it away. No worries at all. Yeah, bullshit. Never happened. As a matter of fact, by the time the Poms clean the mess up they've got over there, it's going to be the most expensive thing they've ever done. It will cost, I believe it's going to cost $1 trillion to sort that mess out. Because the new reactor has had some serious problems. It's running billions of pounds, tens of billions of pounds over budget. It hasn't produced any power yet. Anyway, we'll see. Robodebt, hey? So, what did we get? We got the numbers are pretty close to this. We got $400 million, of which we spent nearly $400 million in consulting fees getting it. And we've paid $2.4 billion in compensations so far. And we gave that moron who lied about this the Order of Australia. Are you kidding me? That award is dead to me. How did anyone give that moron the Order of Australia? Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. That's my opinion. All right. You don't have to agree with it. I think a lot of people do. Yeah, mate, Robodebt. They cut my kid's pension off. He's on an invalid pension. They cut it off. Bang, gone. Prove to us you didn't work these hours at Hungry Jack's. But you did. And you'd already declared them. And they'd already adjusted it. But they income averaged his Hungry Jack's income, which was only for a few weeks, over the whole year, and just cut his pension off until he proved to them. Now, people on invalid pensions are on there for a reason. They're not very good at handling paperwork and calculations and things like this. So we had to go into bat for him. It took nearly 3 months to get his pension back. Now, they backpaid it. Let's be real, they backpaid it. But what happened in that 3 months, eh? Well, we had to feed him. We had to take care of him. We had to do it all because he had no money, zero. And these millionaires that made these decisions could not have given a shit about these people at all. So, yeah, I'm over it. Him, that stupid bitch that was really the instigator of it, who ended up working on a $900,000 a year salary for the government while this is all going on. And we paid all their legal fees. We paid ScoMo's legal fees. We paid all the other legal fees. Paid it all. Way to go, guys. I'm in the wrong business. I'm just jealous. I'm in the wrong business. I go to work every day, catch 6 buses. No, that's not true. 6 buses some days. 4 buses every day. 6 buses some days to and from work. And these guys, the money's just falling all over. It just sprinkles out of the sky. You know? I watched you working on that block of yours, Ollie. I remember what that's like. We grubbed a block up at Fernvale before we had kids. We were going to build on it. We didn't, and it was just 5 acres. We had 5 acres. That's a big block, man. Yeah, they did, Woolman. It's not funny. It's just bullshit, and no one seems to care. No one, I wouldn't say no one. The big pollies. Look at Dutto. He could have taken the high ground on this. I mean, he's a tough guy. He could have taken the high ground. And Malcolm Turnbull goes on TV and says, oh, well, everyone knows Scotty's a liar. Well, he was your bloody minister. Give me a break. What were you doing? I have a lot of time for Malcolm Turnbull, but that was dumb. Absolutely dumb. The Republican thing. It's a shame he didn't get that up because, it's all very good, waving the flag and the Union Jack and all that stuff. But while Prince Charles is technically in charge of this country, King Charles is technically in charge of this country, I don't feel safe. And this AUKUS thing, don't even start me on that. $12 billion to build a sub-base for the United States in Western Australia. that's going to secure us. It won't help, Wolverine. It won't help. You're just going to replace one bunch of dickheads with another bunch of dickheads. Will make you feel better on the way, but yeah, it's crazy. It is. I haven't seen this much shit in the world for quite a few years, but it's an easy way to fix it. Stop looking. Just stop looking. Just stop looking. Worry about what's happening to you and the people you care about. Don't worry about the rest of the dickheads. They can do what they like. Money just rains on these people. It really does. You know, some of these FIFO workers, FIFO workers earn their money. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking their money. But you look at the gap. A mate of mine lives in Western Australia, lives in Perth. Now, he works for an electronics company in Perth. He's not a dilly. Really, he's very good. And he earns about $75,000 a year. It's a shitload of money, but he can get by on it. Well, not in Perth you can't, because people who are changing beds in mines are earning $180,000 a year. And they come back and they just buy all the houses. And all of a sudden, you can't find anywhere to live in Perth. Gee, I wonder what... It's every town in Australia now. Adelaide's the same. Big mining boom going on in South Australia. Awesome stuff. Boom. Anyone who's not in the mining boom is not part of that economy. So you get this stratification. Where's that gone wrong before in the world? Oh, everywhere. We'll see. Hi, Rob. Good to see you, man. Just about to kick out. We're going to go out with the Iron Eye, people. We're going to go out with Conscience Cleaner. Known where I work as Contact Cleaner. But I think Nick told me for quite a while he sung the word Contact Cleaner at his concerts and no one noticed. But anyway. Yeah, it does. It does, man. We'll see. So anyway, saw your Stones Corner thing, Rob. I'm looking forward to that. I like Stones Corner. It's a good spot. It really is. What it used to be. Haven't been there for a while. Any questions, peeps, before I throw the Iron Eye up for you? Love you and leave you? No? I will have a look into that Stirling engine, because that's interesting me, and I will also have a look at that steam Aussie. That's good. The Hylon Carno generator. Hylon. I'll get it. I got it. I've trapped it. Yeah, not to worry. All right, peeps. I'll leave the chat up, obviously. Sugar's Quarry, Sugar's Basalt coming up soon. Remember, the world really is wonderful. And keep rocking, because T-Rox is out. Night all.